bonjour, and thank you for finding time to join me. OJB Sport this wonderful day.
Yes.
And quickly, let's get into business. So,
Okay.
Yewande, a lot. I did some research, and I was like, okay, how did this person get into football? Former UMB goalkeeper, assistant coach, assistant women's soccer coach, University of California, Davis, Maryland assistant, and a whole lot. But
Yeah.
how did you get into football?
From the beginning,
Yeah.
how I got into football, my dad used to play back in Nigeria. He also played here when he moved to the States as well.
Okay.
Big football family. I grew up watching the game, and he put me and all of my brothers into football like when we were very young, and we just all loved it and never really stopped.
Wow.
So I've been playing since I was maybe 4 or 5,
Yeah.
and yeah, took a little break, but now we're back. And my youngest brother is still playing. One of my other brothers is refereeing, at a high level too. We're all still very involved in the game.
In
So
the game of football.
yes,
Yeah. So that means you're born in the States, right?
I was born in the States. Yes.
Because I read somewhere where it says your parents are, the first generation of Nigerians that migrated to the States.
Yes.
So, and also, speaking of that, what part of Nigeria are your parents from, your dad and your mom? Do you care to share that with us, please?
Yeah. So they both grew up on Lagos Island, but my dad's family is from Oyo State. And then I guess my mom is technically from Lagos State, but then she also has family in Calabar. So yeah, just
Oh,
all over.
so
Yeah.
definitely you represent Lagos. So
Oh,
I was right
absolutely.
to put this on.
Yes. Well done.
All right. You said your dad played football, and
Yes.
that's one way or the other influenced you playing football. So, is it right to say your dad or your mom, I mean your parents, actually supported you being, taking football as a career, or was there any no, you have to become an engineer like the Nigerian parents usually say?
Yeah. So originally, my dad, he was actually my first coach too. So he was always very supportive of me playing. And I think the plan was, okay, football will be a means to an end. You'll get into university, you'll become, a doctor, this, that, something. I ended up studying business for my undergrad, and then I went back and got a master. So I have an MBA also in business. So I did that part at least. But I think originally it was, okay, football will get you through school, and then you can, find your career after that. But I mean, I'm a good player, so I wanted to continue playing, and the game has kind of taken a hold of me, I think, in that sense of, yeah, I love to play, but I also use the game to, connect with other people, to help other people, and that's never left me. So even when when I started coaching, like, that was the reason behind it. So, and I think they had to get used to that idea when I first left, corporate America to start coaching full time. They didn't love it, but I always find a way to make things work, so they didn't have a chance to really say
Say
anything.
no.
Yeah.
Oh wow, what a journey. So I guess you've got nice memories of, starting then and then trying to accept it, you going into it fully. So do you have
Yes.
any nice memory to share, like, okay, or something you did then that convinced them at some point, like, okay, let's let this young woman do her thing.
Uh, I don't think there was any one moment. And, I still think they're kind of like, so when are you going to be done with this football thing? Deep down, I think they're still just waiting for me to be done. But my journey is interesting too, because, in my youth career, I played, played through university. But once I was done with university, there was no league for me to play here in the States at that time. And trying to find a team overseas was really difficult if you didn't have senior national team experience. So for me, the journey seemed to have been over a long time ago. And so I started working, got a big girl job. And, I left football alone completely. And I think what really got them was they saw when I had the opportunity to go into coaching, they saw how excited I was and passionate I was about it. As much as they were like, we don't love the idea. I think once they saw how much happier I was back in the game, it kind of, over time, they got used to the idea. So there wasn't any one moment that they were like, okay, Yewande, like it's fine.
So I like that. I like the fact that you said they saw how happy you were when the opportunity came to be, to become a coach. And you said something along the line now. So was it that if you had got an offer outside the States, maybe France, Germany, Sweden or something, you would, or do you think you still be playing football now, not be a coach now?
Yes. Absolutely. And that is, that's the goal, so yeah, I'll still coach and I'll still do all those things. But if, especially because I want to stay, within the team and, add what I can. So
yeah,
that is the goal, to try and find a team outside where I can play even more. So, yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay. That's enough. Let's go to the national team. And, there's a saying that one man's food is another man's poison. And I say that to say, Coach Randy, during the USA series, he couldn't invite some players because of the COVID restrictions and everything. And then they're like, okay, let's look within. And then boom, Yewande popped up. And you joined the team in the States. And then, Nigerians, a lot of people who are these ladies, Yewande, the likes of the one, and she's in Germany right now. I'm trying to remember her name. Esther Okoronkwo is in Paris. She's in Saint Etienne, I beg your pardon. Her sister she played for Soyo, but now she's in Germany. I'm trying to remember her name. Onyeshi Zog.
Yes.
People like that. The Nigerians are like, okay, where did these ladies pop up from? But now, to you, getting that call up and everything, what was the feeling like, and how did you take that? And of course, Popsy and Momsy and everyone, how did they react to that?
Yeah, so it was, to this day, I still am, shocked that it even happened, because, I grew up playing with the U.S. youth national teams. But I always knew that, like, I wanted to play for the Super Falcons. Like, when I was young, watching them play in the World Cups and everything. Like, I actually even used to wear a bandana when I was playing in goal, like Coach Ann would, like, so it's, for me, thinking that ship had sailed and, that would never happen again, or, ever, to now getting that call was just like, obviously a dream come true. And I'm still just, I'm really grateful for the opportunity, and to be able to represent Nigeria, because as much as I was born in the States, like, I consider myself a Nigerian. So that in itself was just mind-blowing, but very excited, and I was just very nervous because I didn't know what I was walking into. I didn't know what to expect, and then also to having recently come out of retirement to play again. That was just, I don't even know, I still don't have the words to describe it, but I'm excited and I'm really happy, and I'm doing everything I can to make sure I'm earning that spot every single time. So
yeah, I can see that you're still struggling to get words to express.
No, I still don't.
I can see that. All right, speaking about it now, you got into the team, and like you rightly said, you don't know what you're walking into. I mean, these are ladies from all over Nigerians. Some were born in Nigeria, some outside Nigeria, like yourself. They're all coming together for the first time, and that was your first time of meeting them. So walking into the camp and walk us through that experience and sharing room. I don't know who you shared your the room with the first time, and how was it? What was the groove like? What was the energy like?
So we didn't have roommates the first couple of camps because of COVID.
Okay. Oh,
And so
okay.
that actually for me was a struggle because I don't necessarily like being by myself
Uh,
all the time. So, and usually, when you have a roommate, it's like a built-in, person to talk to and, whatever it is.
exactly.
So I would use the meal times to kind of, at first I would bounce around to different tables just to make sure I was talking to everyone and just to get to know people. And I think a lot of people are, they begin, really reserved, and there's a lot of people that were new as well that were
Yeah,
still
true.
trying to feel everything out. And here I'm just in
True.
everyone's face, like, hey, like, nice to meet you. um, but I think, yeah, it was really just me trying to get to know everyone and make sure that I was talking to people. And then I think that kind of just became my thing. Even in camps after that, like, I wanted to make sure that I have a relationship with every person on the team. Like, I don't feel like that, and anyone feels comfortable talking to me, or whatever it is. So, but I think especially that first camp in the U.S., because there were so many new faces, it was really interesting just meeting everyone, hearing their stories, and especially talking to the home base players and hearing how different their journeys
Yes.
were to get there than mine, and how I've always had support to play, and a lot of them didn't have that, where they had to fight their parents and people and
Everything.
whoever else to be able to play and to have that opportunity. And then it made me even more grateful, to be able to be there and like have that opportunity. So it was hard at first for me to even accept the fact that I was there, because I was like, oh, my journey has looked so different than everyone else's. But that's the point. Like, no one's journey looked the same. So
True.
it helped me embrace it even more. So, yeah.
Okay. And you didn't make, I mean, you didn't play any game in that particular USA series.
No.
Did you feel like I should have got some minutes, or were you just, still in the euphoria of making this team and everything? Were you worried at some point?
So that first camp for me, I didn't expect to play. Um,
Okay.
and, kind of coming in knowing that I was just helping fill a role.
Yeah.
So that it wasn't a surprise to me. It wasn't a shock, but I still made sure that, when we were training or whether we're on or off the field, I'm adding to the team, right? Like, that's always been my mindset, whatever my role is within the team, whether I'm playing, whether I'm coming off the bench, whether I'm not playing at all, am I making, one, am I still trying to get better every day? And two, am I making the people around me better? So that was just the role that I feel like I've taken on. And, but in that first camp, I was kind of like, okay, I'm here seeing it out, feeling it out, seeing what's happening. But then once I saw that there was an opportunity for me to continue to maybe be involved with the team, I think every camp after that has, like, my mindset has shifted a bit. And until I get that chance to play, like, I'm still going to fulfill that role of, okay, I'm making the people around me better until my role changes, within the team. So that's just kind of how I
Mm,
look at it.
okay. Now, uh, were you part of the team that participated at the Aisha Buhari Cup?
Yes.
So, that particular tournament, I'm sure maybe you shared rooms with some of the players. And so now let's talk about that one. And also, the defeats in that tournament. I mean, we lost to South Africa, right? And let me say, how was that defeat, or how did it help, the team going forward? We played Ghana and we played Ivory Coast, qualifying for the Nations Cup. How do you think, losing that tournament and meeting the players, sharing room with them, and who was your roommate, who was your roomie? Was the person troublesome? Were they very cool? And just all that, maybe in just to hear from you, all that.
Okay. So I guess to start, for Aisha Bahari, I
Yeah.
had two roommates actually back camp. So I was first with Francisca Ortega.
Bodega. Yeah.
Yeah. And then because of, movement and people coming in and out of camp, then I switched rooms and I was with Desire
Paranosia.
Aparanosia. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I know that was her, I'm pretty sure that was her first time back
Yeah. Yeah.
in the camp,
Paranosia. Yes. Yeah.
for after a long
After the
time.
World Cup. Yeah. In France. Yeah.
Yes. So for me, obviously having watched the team play and everything for years and everything, like knowing who she is, and then being able to meet her, share a room with her, and we actually had some very good conversations, and we think similarly about a lot of things. But obviously, very differently about a lot of things too. Me having been born here, she's been born in Nigeria. Yeah, so it was just very eye-opening for me just to hear a lot of her story. And I mean, she's also just a really good person, so I was excited about that. And then after that, my roommate has been Francisca Ortega, and I don't know whose idea it was to put us together, but we have fun together, basically. So she's we call each other we're each other's dance partners and just partners. So
I see.
That's always it's always a good time.
TikTok dance partners or Instagram dance
dance partners. Yes. Yeah.
Okay, that's good.
And if there's ever music on, we're dancing.
You're always there.
Oh yeah. So that's been good. And thinking about the games.
Yeah.
Again, I still think, Aisha Bahari Cup was very good for us just in terms of trying to figure out our team, the way we want to play. And we were still trying to, I think, understand our own players, because I think that was maybe the first time that I think Coach Randy maybe got in a lot of the players that he was trying to get in. There was trouble with it, obviously, because of COVID and visas and everything. So that was one of the first times, like, getting the group to play together. And even with the defeat to South Africa, I think there were still some good moments.
Positive, yeah.
Yeah, and we definitely learned a lot from that. And I think you saw it kind of going into the games against Ghana and Ivory Coast. I think there's always room to grow and to get better, but I think as we are going on, you see the difference in the way we're trying to play, and we're getting the results. And at this point, that's the biggest thing, is getting the results. Finding a way to win. We can talk about playing pretty football and everything we want to, but the results are there.
The job done. Yeah, the first thing,
yeah. So once we, I think that's the most important thing, and then we can sort the rest as we go, which I think is that process is moving in the right direction.
Now, I mean, no more questions for me, just some follow-ups and things I think I need to ask.
Okay.
Momsi and the Hoodman grew up in Nigeria, obviously. So, do you guys speak Yoruba at home? And how fluent is your Yoruba? And is there a particular music that you grew up listening to from Hoodman? I mean, I do.
Yeah.
So is there any particular music, and how strong is your Yoruba?
So my Yoruba is not that great, but I'm trying. So The thing about growing up here in the States is that my eldest brother, when he went to school, my parents were teaching him both English and Yoruba at home. When he got to school, the teachers are now saying that he's behind because he's learning 2 languages and blah blah blah, which isn't necessarily true. But yeah, but they were like, we don't want him to fall behind, so they stopped teaching Yoruba at home and just the English, so that he would be successful in school here. And then none of the rest of us learned Yoruba as a consequence. So yeah, so my Yoruba isn't great. I can understand a good amount, but not to try and speak it, especially because of my accent. That's a very different story. But I did grow up listening to Yoruba music too, like some Christian songs. It wasn't until I was a little bit older that I started listening to more like mainstream, Nigerian music. So yeah. All
right. Do you care to share any of the ones the Christian music, like anyone you grew up listening to at home? Or just mime it or sing it or whatever. I think I should be able to pick it if it's one of the songs I know.
Okay, so one of my favorite ones, and I don't even know the name of the song, but it was in like a they have like the praise music that is like a bunch of different songs all put
Yeah.
together. But one of my favorite ones is oh, I'm gonna sing it, but everyone's gonna make fun of my Yoruba, but it's
No,
fine.
no, no, I won't. I promise I won't.
All
I
right.
won't.
Ẹ bá mi borúkọ rẹ̀, mi ní
Èmi ni tí
tíjẹ́
ń
mi
jẹ́
ní.
èmi ni,
Yeah, that one.
olórúkọ ńlá, èmi ni má ṣe
I said,
bẹ̀rù. Oh, you're already even vibing into it, all right. Yeah, olórúkọ ńlá, ńlá, ńlá. Yeah, that's it. Yeah,
yeah,
I like that. So
that's
I
one of
see.
my favorite ones. Yeah.
Oh, that's good. And the mainstream one, what was your favorite? Now, the mainstream one. A lot.
I have a few, but
Oh.
you can't ever go wrong with Wizkid, obviously. Tiwa Savage, Wande Cole.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's my Davido.
Yeah.
No.
We all do.
Yes.
And it's a good thing because they're becoming good ambassadors of Nigeria. I mean, just like you ladies are doing out there as well, representing us. I remember covering PSG's game against Soyo. Then Onyeshi Zog was still in Soyo. And one of the journalists was like, "Oh, I know you go everywhere there is a Nigerian. So who is the Nigerian here?" I said, "Oh, Onyeshi Zog." I was like, "Oh, she's Nigerian." I said, Nigerian players, good players. So I like that feeling when people say that to me, that Nigerians are good ambassadors, wherever they find themselves. It's a good one. It's a good one. So,
absolutely.
Favorite food? Favorite Nigerian food?
Jollof rice with goat meat and plantain. I could literally every day. I could eat it.
Morning, afternoon, night, without.
Okay, not in the morning. I need to eat real breakfast food, but I could eat that every day. Absolutely.
Oh, all right. Okay, I think that's all because of your training. But lastly, what should Nigerians be expecting from the Super Falcons come June? I hope I'm right. June in Morocco. What should Nigerians be expecting from the Super Falcons in Morocco?
Listen, we're gonna get the job done. That's it. That's all I'm gonna say.
We're going to get the job done. All right, that's good. It's nice speaking with you. Thank you for finding time to join me this afternoon.